I love my female privilege. It begins at birth. If my parents don't find my genitals aesthetically pleasing, they're not allowed to cut them. And if I get a urinary tract infection, I get treated with antibiotics, not a knife. If my parents' religious or tribal customs prefer my genitals to be mutilated during infancy, that doesn't matter. They're not allowed to do it. That's illegal, and you'll go to jail. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege. When I'm an infant, my parents are more likely to respond to cries from me that indicate that I'm hungry, tired, sleepy, afraid, anything, with loving care. I get treated with kindness and gentleness from birth. I'm taught that if I ask for help, help will come. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege. When I go to school, I'm going to be taught by teachers of mostly my own gender, and I'll be taught subjects that interest me in a way that reflects my skills, my preferences, and the things that I'm good at. And if you're a little boy who survives that education without being drugged, it doesn't matter. The teachers of my gender will mark you harder, making it easier for me to succeed. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege that I can go to college campuses where I'm the majority, provided I take retarded subjects like film theory, women's studies, dance therapy, or pottery. If I go into STEM, well, then I'm a minority, and I'm oppressed, and you're the oppressor. And we have to fix it by making sure I have more and better opportunities than you in college. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege, and that any sex I have on a college campus, I can define as rape for any reason I want at any time. I don't even have to have sex to call it rape. I can just make the whole thing up and destroy fraternities and sports teams on my word alone. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege that even if I go to college and get an idiot degree, I get to choose whether or not I want to go to work. I can always get married. And of course I'll say to you at the beginning of our marriage, of course I'm going to work, but I don't have to. I can choose not to. And I probably won't. Or at least I'll only work part-time. I like work-family balance. You know, who doesn't? You have to accept my decision, because what are you going to do? Divorce me? I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that if you do decide to divorce me, I get to keep the house, everything in it. I'll get custody of the kids, and I get to keep a lot of your money too. You'll have to pay me every month. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that I don't have to share custody. No one thinks that moms and dads are equally valuable. They're not, obviously. I love that I can stand up and demand equality, and I don't actually have to deliver equality myself. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege that even if you're one of those rare specimens who actually does get custody of children, I don't have to observe those orders. No one's going to enforce them. I can keep your kids from you for years on end, and there's nothing you can do about it. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that even if I do decide to go to work, I can take more time off, work fewer hours at a less demanding job, and certainly not a dangerous or dirty one. And then I can say that you make more money than me, and that's not fair. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that choosing to have children is completely my choice. You don't get a choice. I can choose to have an abortion, and you can't, obviously. But even if I do give birth to a child and I don't feel like supporting that, I don't feel like interrupting my school schedule, I don't feel like interrupting my party schedule, it's just too much work. No one's going to force me to pay for or parent that baby if I don't want it. In every state, I'm allowed to simply surrender children I don't want and walk away. I don't even have to give my name. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that if I get sick, my health care is well funded, often by the state. I love the fact that if I get cancer, I have more than double the funding of men's cancers. I love that if my health problems are mental health and I simply scratch myself on the wrist, I will be flooded with attention. I will have counselors. I will have all the drugs. And I will be able to say that women attempt suicide more than men, and therefore, we're the ones who suffer. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege. I get to vote and choose leaders without getting drafted. I get to access state and federal programs without agreeing to die. And even if you did try to draft me, I would vote for the first politician who said that women can't be drafted, because drafting women is silly. You can't do that. We're special. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege in that even if I fall off the rails and just go wild, girls gone wild. If I steal a few cars, rob a few convenience stores, do some drugs, whatever, any manner of bad things, I'm much less likely to be charged with a crime, much less likely to be convicted of a crime, and even if I am convicted, I'm going to spend less time in jail than a man for the same crime. I love that I can point to crime statistics and say, you see, men are the ones who do all the crime. Look at the conviction rates. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege the most because you can't win a fight with me. If I hit you first, and 70% of unidirectional violence is women hitting men, if I hit you and you hit me back, you're a bully. You're not even a real man, and you're going to jail. It's called the Violence Against Women Act. I'll have you arrested for domestic violence, even though I hit you first. You can't win. And if I hit you first and you don't hit me back, you're a pussy who got beat up by a girl. There's no domestic violence shelters, no resources available for you because man up. I love my female privilege. I love my female privilege because whatever I do is right. I can't be held accountable for anything. I'm sugar and spice and everything nice. I love my female privilege.